Okay, so there's a very seductive energy that's coming through here. There's somebody that wants to wine and dine you. They want to cook you dinner. They may be really good in the kitchen. Somebody may be a professional chef or a restaurateur. They want to make reservations for you and them at like the fanciest restaurant in town. This is somebody that wants to show you the finer side of life, the finer things. It feels like this is somebody with a very elegant taste. This is somebody of ways and means that can definitely not only foot the bill, but this is somebody that can, really show you experiences that are very next level compared to what you were dealing with previous partners, or kind of like introduce you to a whole new way of living that it feels like is very upscale. It's very high echelon. It's bringing to mind the idea of like somebody that may want to take you on trips, travel internationally, and again, kind of like foot the bill. Somebody that is a very generous energy. This is a provider. This is somebody that's very well established. Gift giving, maybe their love language, or there's something where there's almost this energy of like a gift, something that they want to give you, something that they've seen as they were like passing a store, like a piece of jewelry in a store window, or something they might have like seen online that like that would look so good on you. This could have to do with like lingerie that they want to gift you, or again like a piece of jewelry, something where they feel like they want you to dress up. They want both of you to dress up, like dress to the nines and go out on the town. Something that is beyond just kind of like casual and kickback wear. This is somebody that's looking, to get fancy with you. They want to show you off. They want to have you on their arm. This may be somebody that, based on the nature of their work, they could go to like fancy events, things where they're having a schmooze with other people, networking events, and there's a sense of like, I want you to accompany me to these things, not just because you look like good arm candy, but there's a sense that this person also thinks you're very interesting, you're a good conversationalist, you're somebody that would fit very well in the image of what they're wanting to present out to others, and something that kind of equates with success in a well-rounded capacity. So this is somebody that could be like a Prince Charming kind of an energy, looking to kind of, pick you up out of your situation in some sort of way. Or even if you're somebody that is, very independent, you can take care of yourself. This is somebody that like, I know you can pay for it. I know you have it covered, but let me, like you pull out your credit card, you think you're going to go kind of halvesies with somebody, 50-50 on the bill. And they're like, no, that's not how I roll. That's not my style. Put that away. I've got this. And so, yeah, this is something where for whoever this is resonating with, it feels like you're about to kind of like step through a new sort of doorway as far as love and romance and dating is concerned. If you were dealing with kind of people that were very cheap, or people that weren't very imaginative in terms of like previous partners, or just potential partners, people you'd given the time of day to, or you'd gone out on dates with, this is somebody that is like a whole other level. They have a lot of they're very comfortable with giving. There's a sense that again, like a very generous person, but somebody that there's a sense of like, they may even be kind of old fashioned in terms of like the man should pay for things, or I want to be the one to kind of like treat you, to take you out. I've asked you out, so let me be the one to cover everything. So yeah, we've got Ace of Wands. Somebody sprung. Somebody is like really attracted to you, and they're very stimulated by the idea of kind of like one thing leading to another between the two of you. But this isn't even just like sexy energy. This isn't even just kind of like, okay, when can I get you home? When can I get you behind closed doors or in the sheets? This is somebody that's kind of like, okay, in addition to that, when can I incorporate you more into my daily living, into my lifestyle, into the ways in which I like to have fun on the weekends, or what I like to do as far as hobbies and interests, vacation is concerned. Yeah, and we've got the Two of Swords, so it feels like they are very determined to kind of like block out other options that you have. They want to be the only option. They want to kind of stop you in your tracks and have you really sort of look at this person, not just like, okay, you know, we've got this chemistry, we've got this potential with one another. It could lead to something very beautiful, but the level of almost kind of attention or dedication that they want to show you. This is somebody that's kind of like, I want to blow all competition out of the water. I want this to be the type of situation where, regardless of what happens between the two of us in a long-term sense, it's a memorable experience with me. You get to see things you wouldn't have seen otherwise. You're introduced to a whole different lifestyle that might not otherwise have been accessible to you. This is somebody that wants to leave a very good impression upon you. And somebody that may be very, very direct, almost like forceful, but they, you know, they want you to surrender. They're not going to kind of like, you know, chase you or you know, be kind of like super aggressive about things. But this is somebody that's like, I want what I get what I want. I see what I want and I get it. And what I want is you. This is somebody that is almost like they may keep asking you out. They're not going to take no for an answer if you're, you know, playing a little bit hard to get, or, you know, it feels like this person may even have kind of a very intimidating energy. This is like boss energy. This is like entrepreneur. This may be somebody who's, you know, well known in the community. They're kind of flashy, they're kind of affluent. There's a sense of like, they may also be a very direct person with like those two swords. They're not going to just try kind of like come in and want to be in the friend zone in any sort of way. This is somebody that wants to kind of like make their intentions known of sort of like, I'm attracted to you. I want to get to know you. I want to take you out for experiences. Yeah, some kind of like a talking stage at the beginning, or maybe you're already in that talking stage with one another and they're wanting to take things to the next level. They're not just going to want to sit there and be your chat buddy forever. You know, this is somebody that's kind of like, I want to get together in person. I want to have these real world experiences. I want to look into your eyes. By candlelight, that's what's coming through. I'm hearing by candlelight. So they want to see your face kind of illuminated by candlelight. They want to see kind of that glow and the ambiance of like a dimly lit restaurant, and you're in the back booth with one another, you know, kind of just exchanging conversation, or even just sitting in a degree of comfortable silence. It feels like they've fantasized about something like that, like just looking into your eyes, looking into the way that you take on this very like palpable glow. Maybe when you're very satisfied in your circumstances, or in something that this person is able to like show or provide or present or do, that it feels like would be an experience that you might not have had before, and something that's not just a one-off. It's kind of like, this is how I roll. This is how I am. This is how I present myself. This is a high effort person, as opposed to like low effort people that you've dealt with in the past. This is a high effort person. They will go that extra mile in order to, again, kind of like set themselves apart from any potential competition or anyone that you might have dated before, where it was like, okay, that person showed me a good time. This person's gonna, you know, show you a magnificent time. Yeah, we got Four of Wands. So they definitely are open to the idea of long-term commitment. This is somebody who's looking to date, to marry. You know, they're not just wanting a fling. They're not just wanting a situationship. It feels like this is somebody that isn't afraid to cut their losses pretty early on, which may be kind of that energy of like, okay, great, we have, you know, words to exchange with one another, or it works when there's kind of like this distance between the two of us. But what happens, you know, when we're up close and personal? What happens when we're going out and, you know, I'm showing you a bit of the world that I come from, or the world that I have inserted myself in, that I am in now? Are you able to adapt to that environment? Is that something that is in alignment with like the reality of what you want? Because it feels like this brings almost like a dreamy energy. Again, like Prince Charming is coming through, you know, kind of like going to galas or balls, or like very fancy or formal events. That may be something that is par for the course with this person. It's like a regular occurrence for them. And so there's a sense of almost like, I want to introduce you to that. I want to kind of bring you in on that. I want you to be somebody that kind of fits in with me in that capacity, in addition to the times where we're just kicking back and it's casual, you know, and we're hanging out at home. But there's a sense of almost like wanting to move forward with you in this situation, and like getting to know you, getting to, you know, explore a connection a little bit deeper, in a way that they may have almost like a very determined plan of action. Like they're not just going to sit in this energy for like months and months and months and, let's just see where this goes. And they don't make their intentions known. This is somebody that's kind of like, okay, all of kind of the ingredients seem to be here, but, is this something where we really have that chemistry that can lead to, a circumstance where we're both excited about it. We're both, feeling interested. We're both feeling attracted to one another. We're both able to kind of step beyond the comfort zone and have these different experiences. Yeah, and the moons, this person's been fantasizing about you for quite some time. They're hungering for you. They're yearning for you. Again, that energy of like wanting to cook you dinner, wanting to take you out to fancy restaurants, show you a different sort of like side of themselves or a side of like potential partners or companions that you may not have experienced before. This person's a giver. This person is somebody that is kind of almost like your wish is my command, but they're very like self-assured. This is somebody that they're very secure, they're very comfortable within themselves. They may present kind of like a button-up energy, sort of like a stoic energy in the light of day, but then, when the sun goes down, it's like this beast comes out, this other side of them. This is somebody that like works hard and knows how to have fun. They work hard and they play hard. So they're not going to spare any expenses as far as like that's concerned. As far as like dates are concerned, or even just the way in which they sort of live their life, outside of the office, on the weekends. This is somebody that they've got exquisite taste. They've got lavish taste. They like luxury, and they see you as luxury, or somebody that's almost kind of like, I want to, buy you fancy clothes, or again, some kind of like jewelry or even lingerie, something that kind of like, brings out these qualities within you that could be accentuated, or that should be accentuated, should kind of be celebrated in a physical sense by the finer things in life. And it feels like there's a side of this person too. They're no slouch. This is somebody that may be a very good dresser. They may invest a lot in their wardrobe, kind of like key pieces that are very exclusive, very well made, name brand, but somebody that's not superficial as well. This is somebody that feels like that they know if you take care of the things that you love, or invest in like quality things, quality people, quality relationships, quality things, quality items, then those tend to last. This is not someone that's looking for just like a cheap kind of revolving door of connections or stuff or like a way of life. This may be somebody that's very situated in their own life, kind of, they're very stable, they're very secure, they're very determined. They got a clear kind of path forward towards the future, and in some sort of way they feel that you would be kind of like the right person. You got the right look, you got the right attitude, there's the right charisma that you're giving off, and so far in your interactions, or just kind of where their imagination's sort of going with things, there's a sense of like, yeah, I think that we could look really good together. I think we could be a very sexy couple. I think that you've kind of got that energy that I'm looking for, that vibe that I'm looking for in a person. Yeah, Knight of Wands. So this, even though this is typically like a Casanova kind of energy, this is somebody it feels like that they want to come in that Prince Charming energy, kind of like your wish is my command. What do you need? What can I give? What can I provide? What can I kind of bestow upon you that will, make you blush or make you smile or make you feel very kind of like celebrated, very seen. This is somebody though as well that it feels like they don't want to come across though as kind of they're like, preemptively giving gifts or something where they're trying to like buy your affection, buy your attention. It feels like this is a very like attractive person. So that might not be a problem, in order to kind of spark that mutual sort of chemistry, that mutual magnetism, that animal magnetism between the two of you. But there's so much more to this person and to the way in which they love, a very sensual vibe that is coming through. This is the kind of person that's they're gonna give you that massage, they're gonna give you that back rub, they're gonna draw that bubble bath for you, a lot of hand holding and kind of like physical affection. That may be the other thing that's part of their love language, is like physical touch, a lot of closeness. This is somebody who wants to feel your body heat, like right up close and personal. Again, that kind of image of like someone's face kind of illuminated by the glow of candlelight. This may even be somebody that if they invite you over and they're cooking for you at home, it's going to be a candlelit dinner. If you go to their house, you go to their apartment, You go to their place, it may just kind of look like an ordinary place, nor, during the day or at other times you've gone. But then this is almost somebody that wants to transform that energy. They want to transform that environment. They've gotten all these little accessories or all these kind of little things, to make it very special, making it, the ordinary kind of dining room or breakfast nook, kind of making that, transforming that, making that look, like a fancy restaurant, like a candlelit, setting the mood and just very kind of like romantic scenery. That's definitely something that is part of like this person's fantasy. They also feel like somebody that likes to give surprises. So it's kind of like, hey, why don't you just come over and hang out? And you come over and there's like roses and candles and the candlelit dinner and the fine bottle of wine and the soft music and they got the aromatherapy going and like everything is right. This is somebody that definitely knows how to set the mood. They got a really good attention to detail. They may have artistic tendencies within them. They could be a creative person, or they just have an eye for creative things, an appreciation for art. This person sees you as a work of art as well, and there's a sense of almost like to romance you or to have romantic experiences with you. That would be like art in and of itself. It's like the art of making love, the art of making romance. They infuse that kind of in the process of like building connection with other people. And so it feels like you have definitely motivated this person to put in that effort as far as you're concerned. Yeah, and we got the Hermit. So this is somebody that it feels like they may be older than you or just kind of like a very mature person. They're looking for serious connection. They're looking for something long term. But this is somebody that kind of wants to build from the ground up. So they're not denying that kind of urge within them to, just kind of get you home, get you in bed. But it goes so much further than that. There's so much more that this person wants. They really want to get to know you. They really want to take their time with this. They want to approach this from all angles and kind of savor every experience, every moment, every kind of little twist and turn where they can sort of show you something different, show you something else, show you something that is either very kind of out of character, unexpected from how they normally present, but like in the best possible way, or something that is better than like past lovers or past boyfriends, past connections, past people have been able to show you. Yeah, we got the Devil. So these are like those naughty thoughts. These are those 18 plus thoughts. This person has definitely had those spicy thoughts about you. They got a lot of fantasies. This may be somebody who's very adventurous in the bedroom and they want to explore that with you, kind of a kinky energy. They're not wanting to hold back. They don't want to kind of intimidate you or overwhelm you. And so there's kind of just like, what do you like? Versus sort of what I like, and where can we meet in the middle? Where can we kind of, step over certain boundaries? Where can we explore uncharted territory? Certain things that they've always kind of like wanted to do with other people, and they've never found the right partner, or maybe they just weren't like comfortable within themselves or, situations in order to kind of go down those roads. You're somebody that it's kind of like, I can envision that we could get to that place, that we could build enough trust, that there could be enough confidence in this situation between the two of us, where that idea of pleasure, that idea of a very sensual energy could definitely turn into something next level. Yeah, and we got the King of Swords. So again, this is somebody who's very determined. They have their eyes set on you. This is definitely that Mr., I see what I want and I get what I want. And in this case, that is you. So this is somebody that feels like will approach, will be very direct, will be very bold, will be very assertive. You're not going to question where you stand with this person. And it feels like this is kind of like next level energy. This is that upper echelon of romantic encounters, romantic experiences, but something that's not just kind of like, okay, that was a fun night, that was a unique experience, that was a really, great date. This is somebody that wants to kind of keep that momentum going. They don't just want to start small and build up from there. It's kind of like they want to pull out all the stops right from the beginning and show you sort of like, I can do this on a consistent basis. This is something that is my comfort zone. This is my world. This is how I operate. Is that something that you're into? Because if yes, I'm inviting you in. I'm inviting you closer into my reality. I would like to claim you as my own, or kind of explore, sort of unlocking those doors between the two of us to a deeper and more bold and more kind of precise connection or precise experience between the two of you. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Please give the video a like or comment to show your support. And if you want to see more content from me, please hit the subscribe button and the bell button so you can get notifications when I post new videos. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another video. Please take care and be well.